Samsung usually sets the standard for flagship Android smartphones each year, and 2017 is looking to be no different. With the exploding Galaxy Note 7 fiasco now behind it, the company needs to show that it can be a leader in innovation once again. The Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus are different from their predecessors in many ways. First of all, Samsung is only producing these phones with curved glass. There's no standard flat version anymore. Secondly, the screens are taller than usual with a non-standard resolution and aspect ratio. In an effort to be as minimalist as possible, Samsung has gotten rid of its iconic home button. The Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus are therefore quite small despite their big screens. They're both comfortable to hold and use, but you'll have to deal with fingerprints and smudges on the glass front and back. One problem with this design is that the fingerprint sensor had to be moved to the back. It's an awkward spot and isn't easy to reach, especially if you're left-handed. To make up for this, Samsung offers face and iris recognition, but neither one is as convenient. You have to hold the phone steady at just the right angle and distance, which takes way too long. The Android navigation buttons are now on screen, and you'll feel a vibration when you long press the home button. You only need to do this when launching Google Assistant, so it seems pointless to us. In addition to hardware, Samsung has overhauled its UI. The new Samsung experience uses swipe gestures so your thumb doesn't have to be able to reach the bottom of the screen all the time. It's a little confusing, but functional. You can choose whether or not to have a separate app drawer, and the notifications and quick settings are in their usual places. The main new thing is Samsung's Bixby Assistant. It isn't yet fully functional, so there are no voice commands. You can call it up by swiping right on the home screen or pressing the dedicated Bixby button on the left of the phone. You can see news updates as well as cards for upcoming activities, reminders, and health tracking. Bixby is also integrated into the camera app. You can point your phone at anything, and Bixby's intelligence tries to guess what it is. You're supposed to be able to search for products, landmarks, and even wine bottle labels, but we saw mixed results. It was fairly good at recognizing text, but image searches were all over the place. Landmarks were suggested based on GPS, not image recognition. The curved glass on these phones is highly reflective, which can get a bit distracting. It can be difficult to read text and use buttons near the curved edges. The corners are rounded, and only Samsung's own apps really make use of the extra vertical space. Videos are stretched by default, but you can force them to play normally. Full-screen games and other apps generally run letterboxed with black bars on the top and bottom. Both phones only have mono speakers, but they are loud and crisp enough for a group of people to enjoy a video. You get a nice-looking wired headset which is tuned by AKG, and it sounds pretty good for all kinds of music. Performance is excellent thanks to Samsung's in-house Exynos processor. We saw record-breaking benchmark scores, and needless to say, there was no lag anywhere. We didn't have the slightest trouble even with heavy games. Both phones have 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, which can be expanded by up to 256GB, though at the cost of a second SIM. All the latest standards are supported, including Bluetooth 5 for improved range and speed. Camera performance is also excellent, just as we expected. Photos came out great no matter the conditions, with incredibly sharp focus, vivid colors, and brilliant depth. The cameras can focus quickly and deal with transitions from light to shadow. Low light shots were especially impressive with low noise and superb control over exposure. You don't get dual cameras, but there is a selective focus mode in the app. You can record videos at up to 4K for up to 10 minutes, or slow motion at 720p. Battery life is good, but not as great as we had hoped for. Both phones lasted us through a full day of heavy usage. The S8 Plus benefits from having a larger battery, but if you use the screen a lot, it will drain just as fast. Quick charging and wireless charging are both supported. Samsung has pulled off quite a feat with the Galaxy S8 and Galaxy S8 Plus. Both these phones are incredibly powerful and look gorgeous. There are some usability problems thanks to the new design, but if you want the best of the best, look no further. The awkwardly placed fingerprint reader and curved screen might be slightly inconvenient, but the pros far outweigh the cons. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gadgets360.